Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. Haven't done one of these in a hot minute. It's been kind of a blur. The holidays, last 2 months, had a lot of changes at the flea market. Hope all of you are enjoying your New Year's, by the way. And I'm enjoying looking at my Christmas lights. The last day, you could really conceivably have your lights up. Unless you're one of those freaks that have your Christmas lights up in February, you don't want to be that guy. So I'm enjoying my handiwork here. I feel every year I'm getting better at Christmas lights. I'm very critical of my Christmas lights. And it's it's just 2 rows of lights. But maybe next year I'll have it a little better, I'm just going to miss them. Had them up for a month. I got used to the lights now. I love Christmas lights. But we're not talking about Christmas lights. No, we're not. We're talking about the flea market. The current state of things at the flea market. And the fact that there's been a lot of changes. I've changed my entire location. I don't know if I've had one of these since I changed my location, but it was a month or 2 ago. Yeah, it's been a while. And I've been meaning to actually have a flea market story, but I've been so busy trying to customize my location, get used to my new location, and there's been some trials and tribulations there. Because the old location I had everything pretty much just set perfect. The only thing that wasn't perfect was the fact that winter was coming, and it wasn't going to be a 3rd year in a row I froze my fucking ass off. I was not going to do that, not one more year. And I know I'm still going to be cold in my new location because they don't allow electric heat, but at least that biting wind, I could get out of it and avoid it. So I made the biggest decision I've made there since I started selling at the flea market, which was to change my long-time location. Not going to lie. It's been kind of like a trying 2 months, trying to basically get my sales back to where they were because I was in a new location. And half my regulars, maybe they don't even go to the last row, or they're giving up on looking for me. I guarantee you they've been asking the person or whoever, it's not one set person that's there now. They've been asking, I'm sure, where I'm at. And I thought, well, maybe I would go to that location every single day and offer a little bribe of $5 to, say, hey, here's $5. Anyone asking for me, send them on over. But there's no guarantee that person actually would. And they might just say, whoa, $5, I'm not giving my business away potentially. And one time I went there and I saw a guy, he didn't have like a video game type setup. He just had a U-Haul that he backed up and he had lots of random boxes. And part of me was just very critical of his setup. And I was thinking, man, that's not how that should be set up. He's got boxes all over the line. It's all messy, but it's okay. It's all right. I've already moved. I didn't say anything but hello, how you doing? I said I used to be here, so I wish you good luck. But he's not a permanent person that was there. My worst day was several weeks back, maybe about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. My worst day, by far, was the day that I had, and the irony here is, I had everything set up perfectly, almost to a T. One of those days I went there and I said, I got all my I's dotted. I got all my T's crossed. Everything is absolutely perfect today. There's no way today could be a failure. Well, I forgot my long extension cord. And that was one thing that could have got into my way because I didn't have a super long extension cord to put up a TV. I now have a TV that basically says Media Market. So I was running movies on it, but what did I do that day? No, that particular day, I had 2 game systems running to the right side, and one was on like a big 45-inch. I mean, it's big for the flea market, 45-inch, 40-something TV. I forget, except 43. It's a 43-inch TV. I had a Xbox running Midnight Club on, which was getting a good bit of attention there because of the big TV. Well, out of nowhere, I tried the long extension cord while I had all these systems set up on that power supply to just, plug in a radio. Ironically, I had found a different extension cord that wasn't as long to work, but I still needed an extra one to plug in my CD player to test and demo CDs. Well, the very minute I plugged in that cord, all the power went off. And I thought to myself, oh shit, am I running too much electronics? Is that what it is? Is there a short in that area? So I started freaking out. I just started freaking out. I didn't put it together that it could be the extension cord at that moment. I just kept thinking to myself, this is terrible. This is terrible. I'm going to go look around. And I just had to someone else was there that could watch my area that I trust. So I just had to go take a walk. I took a piss. I started to just think about things, and I was curious. And on that particular day, it was one of the very warmest days that you would have around this wintertime. It was 65, 66 degrees. And in the open area where I went over. I could barely walk. There was so much of a crowd of people. About everyone was down that row. All vendors were selling. And it was the exact opposite of what was going on my new row, which I knew would be a little bit slower because it's an area that doesn't have a lot of stores in it. But I was just super pissed off because right now I'm thinking, is my electronic outlet, is that, because I didn't know a whole lot about electronics, at least the outlets of places. I'll go into that in a moment here. There's some good news there. But I was so pissed off because at that moment I thought, damn it, I'm not going to have any power. Maybe the power's going to be fucked up for a while. And I was planning an escape. I was planning already to possibly leave that area and go back to my old spot because of the power situation. Because I saw so many people at my old spot that one particular day. But the fact is I was missing my old spot. That's what it was. Sometimes you go to a new area, whether it's a new house, part of you, even though you know things are going to be better eventually, you have nostalgia for that old area. And I did. I was there for 2 years. So I made this decision to move to the new spot, mostly because of the winter, but I didn't know if I made the right decision. And even then, beyond that, I said, well, maybe I go to another spot that's an inside area, but a better location. And maybe I would pay a little more. So I had a lot of ideas swirling around in my head. But eventually, there was some good news. Well, more bad news after the good news. See, I didn't know if it was that electric cord. Oh, yeah, the story, by the way, I don't know if a lot of you remember, but you remember the customer I had that bought 360? And they showed me pictures, naked pictures of their wife or girlfriend or whatever. Kind of funny situation there. Really crazy shit, man. But I told him I was frustrated. When I first got there, I said, I'm frustrated because I don't have a long electric power cord. I want everything to be perfect today. He said, hey, man, I'll look around for one. I got you. So he went and found me a power cord. And then he even bought it. And he said, no, don't worry about it. So I didn't know if he bought it or somebody gave him a power cord. I don't know. I don't know the situation there. I don't know where he got it from. But I told him, pick a game or two. Pick 2 360 games for bring me that power cord. And I think he got one game and everything. I told him, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And an hour or so goes by before I even get it to plug the cord in. And I put 2 and 2 together, and I realized this happened exactly when I put the cord in. And I was trying to figure out if I had the radio hooked up. And I said, there's no way a little small boombox radio, like a little Memorex radio CD player, would cause a spike in the electricity. No, it would have to be something bigger. So I'm thinking the cord. Well, that's something I'm not really proud of. There's an area to the right of me. And I didn't know if that was an abandoned area or not. I didn't know if no one was even coming back there. And the whole time I'd been there, which was several weeks, no one was in that spot. But I looked through, you could barely see an opening. And I saw an electrical outlet to the right. And I said, well, I got to find out 100% one way or the other if it's this cord or if it's my area. Well, at that moment, there was someone there selling with me that was watching the table, person I trusted. And I plugged it in. And they actually had, it was not just the outlet, but they had a 3-spade outside that was plugged in there. And the minute I plugged it in, I heard a bzzz. And I didn't get electrocuted or nothing like that. But I heard it, and I was like, oh, fuck. It is this cord. It is this cursed cord. And then I tried to plug in something like a radio after that in that same outlet, and it wouldn't work. So I'm thinking, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Not only have I, and again, I don't know about like, I mean, I know a little more now, but I didn't know about the electrical setup there. Good news is coming, by the way. But I did not know if I had fucked up my location and the location to the right of me. So then I started freaking out like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, shit. And the person that I trusted, I said like, hey, you tell this to no one. And they said, tell what to no one? They didn't know. So I'm thinking I fucked up both electrical outlets that it would need electrical work from an electrician to come there and figure it out. So I'm already thinking like, what am I going to do? I got to leave this area. The spot's not for me. I see all the businesses the other area. I know I'm going to freeze my ass off, but I got to go back. But I don't say anything. I say nothing. After talking to my friend a good bit, they say, listen, here's what you do. You don't say nothing about it. You don't bring attention to it. Just you come in a little early next weekend and you just go to the office and be all surprised saying like, hey, my outlet's not working. And that way they might figure, well, after you left, somebody came in probably and tried to plug something in there and they messed up the outlet because it's people can still go to the store. They can still walk through that area. Whether they believe it or not, I don't know. But that's what I was going to do. Now, the next weekend when I go there, oh, by the way, this one's going to be kind of a long one because I have a lot of catching up to do on the flea marketing, so just bear with me. Because I haven't done one of these in a while. So the next weekend I go there, and I'm honestly just freaking out. I'm like, shit, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with this flea market situation. And in my new area, one thing I like is I have roll-up doors. And the area that I park in is not mud. That's an upgrade. I didn't really think about that much, but it's a grassed area. It's grassy. Then we think, what's the big difference? Oh, it makes all the difference. Moist grass area is different than a moist, muddy area that turns into mud because you're not going to have mud on your shoes. And it's such a nicer situation. A small patch of grass versus being in the mud. That's a nice little upgrade, I would say, from that area. And of course, having the doors. And by the way, this area is only $20 more than the other area. So when I think about it, there's so many more positives to this area. And spoiler alert, I decided to stay in this area. When I get there, I'm freaking out because my road numbers, I'm thinking for some reason is ending in a 7 and an 8 and not an 8 and a 9. So I back up to the wrong one thinking, oh shit, did I forget to lock it up before I left? Because things were just kind of a mess. I was freaking out. I was like, oh shit, did I forget to put the padlock on there? Did I lower the door and then the padlock, is it inside? Oh shit. And they probably put their own lock on it with a combination. Damn it. So I'm thinking I have to go to the office and explain the power situation and they're going to get on me because I forgot to lock the door. No. I was just freaking out because both of my gold Brinks locks are on there. And I was like, whew, okay. Whew, all right. I open things up and instantly, the moment of truth comes. I plug in the radio before anything else to see if it comes on. It comes on. The radio comes on when I plug it into the outlet. And then I realize, all right, they probably cut the power off and when they kick it back on, it resets everything. Makes sense. Why would they have their power plugged on? Because then anybody could jump the fence and plug in all their stuff and they turn their power off at the end of the weekend on a Sunday before the next week. So I was relieved. And I decided to stay in that spot. Now, since I've been in that spot, sales have not been that great. I had a decent sales day before Christmas, but that is only because I brought things out that I don't normally bring out. Like I brought in big Pokemon toys, some different toys. I didn't sell 4-pack of underwear that I thought I could resell. I got it at one of them cheap outlet places. So I had like wallets out there. I had socks, different types of things, holiday gifts, stuff of that nature. Things that maybe I never opened. And it's outside the realm of You know, you get things sometimes, you don't open them and you realize, oh shit, it's past my return window. So you can't return it back to the store. Stuff like that I put out there. And I had a pretty reasonably good sales day. And even before that, there was some growth one weekend in music CDs. One weekend, I didn't sell a single video game, but I was selling some music CDs. And I realized I need to temper my expectations. I've been so gung ho. I've been making, oh, by the way, like I made new business cards. I don't know if I have a video of this. I will in the future. I actually have a new store sign. Since I have a location and it's not just an open area, I can actually put things up on the walls. I got walls, man. And I got an area I can put a store sign. So it barely passes as a store type setup. I can call it a store. I have a lot of work to do. And like I said, there's a little bit of catching up here. Yeah, the music CDs. That was a good surprise to me, a positive surprise. And I've made tons of money off of the boxes and boxes I got for like, was it $30 I told you guys? Freaking goodness, man. Like there's an ESPN Jock Jams here I just listened to. I might get maybe possibly $10 from that one. It's got 20 killer songs. There was a sealed Bruno Mars I sold for $10. There was another sealed one I sold for $10. So I've definitely made my money back and then some. And then some. Hell, even I went back to the same guy and got, I think for $5, I got, it was maybe like 10 or 15 CDs. And one of those instantly I've sold for $5. And then I got a Best of Foreigner on there. Freaking love Foreigner, man. But he's always good for, and sometimes they need some buffing out. Sometimes the cases are cracked. But I got stacks and stacks of CD jewel cases at home in a certain area. So it's nothing for me to switch that out. But that's a positive right there. A positive is, there's some positives. And nostalgia makes me miss the old spot. I do. I'm thinking about the old spot, and I never got around to an upload talking about the last final day or the last weekend at the old spot. It was a situation where I had a lot of people coming to try to sell me things. A lot of other vendors. And what I will not miss is the fact that there's so many other vendors around you that will constantly bring you things. And you have to keep telling them no, no, no. And they keep trying to give you deals and offers. And there's this one motherfucker, the one guy I only remember that I bought one DVD from him and his Married with Children season 1 for like $1 or something like that. And he didn't get the message the last time. And he just hung around and I tried to nicely say no. And then the follow-up question, well, take my number down. And if you know anybody that wants the DVDs, yeah, I'll take your number down. And he still just kept hanging around. And almost like he wanted me to direct him to somebody that would buy his DVDs or whatever. I don't know. DVDs haven't done super well, but I had some days where I sold some. There's positives, man. Like I sold some of the Christmas stuff I got. Larry the Cable Guy Christmas special sold for $5. I sold Chipmunks Christmas special CD for $5. Sold a couple Christmas type DVDs. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. I just, like I said, I missed the old spot. Although the last weekend at the old spot wasn't that super great. And there's this one guy that I'm squeezing a lot here. Okay? I'm telling you, I have to squeeze this in because there's so many of these that should have been separate uploads. And the sound of my keys dropping up under the seat. Sometimes I do recording right when I get home from, I gotta eat my chicken. It's gonna get cold. But, so I'll try to quickly move this along. Shit, what the fuck was that that dropped? Oh, there's a CD over here. Okay. Where the fuck was I? This is one guy, Jeremy, man. I'll save that for a separate upload. That could be a separate upload on talking about Jeremy. Quickly moving along. What's next? Well, what's next for me at that spot? I'll just wrap this one up. The new location, I got big plans this year, but I'm going to temper my expectations. I'm not going to go crazy to try to get everything done at one time. My first weekend there officially, I tried to incorporate it was warmer weather then, but I tried to paint the walls with spray paint, good spray paint, and then the tables. But the problem is, even though it's quick dry paint, when you're trying to paint the tables, the top of the table, the paint's not going to hold because you're going to be moving trays and trays of video games across the table. It's not going to hold. So I got big plans. I'm going to actually get some, which a friend of mine thought was a brilliant idea. The tables, the top of them don't look that great. So I'm going to paint the legs of the tables and the corners with thick black glossy paint. And on the top, I'm actually going to put some maybe black, maybe dark gray. The top is going to be stick-on floor tiles on the very top. And we're going to trim them down to fit the tables. And that's going to look real nice. The corners, I have to repaint. The top has this one area that hangs over that it would be perfect for like a little display or like maybe an art mural or something like that. Maybe I have some shelves in the corner. I might put some bookshelf speakers on, and just like a regular store, have a system to where I can put a CD or something else and just play music on the top two corners. You know, when you walk into a store and there's speakers up near the ceiling, I have a ceiling. I could do some stuff with the ceiling. I could put some signage up. There's a lot of things I could do here. And that excites me that I can build upon the store. And other positives, man, the biggest positive, hands down, the biggest positive of this new location is this, other than having the roll down doors to keep the wind off of me, is, dude, I can roll in there 10, 11, damn near 12 o'clock one day. I can roll in there later if it's really cold or rainy. Whereas the other location, I was expected to be there by 9. And that is the biggest deal because you know what? If I build a store and it says, you know, my logo and everything in the store, and it's specific to my store, then it's not just tables, whereas the other area is just tables. But they respect you if you have a store. There's a different level of respect they give you if you're the inside area. There is. And a big positive is, well, they'd have to break my locks, which I don't think they're going to go to the extent to. They'd have to break my locks to even open the door so somebody could pull their vehicle up. So that is one thing I noticed, and I was always a little bit jealous of, how the other stores in the one row, they would be able to come later and later and later past 9 o'clock. But now guess what? I'm in that position. I'm in that position to where I could do that. I mean, hell, one day I didn't know it was going to be that busy. I was not even going to go there and sell because it was going to be super freaking cold. Super cold. I think maybe the last day before Christmas, I believe. I was not even going to sell there. I drove by on the way to McDonald's and I said, there's a ton of people here. Ironically, I wound up not selling but like $10, maybe less. I was only there for 2 hours. But I went during the rush and I said, okay, now I can make a decision whether or not to go there. Hell, a lot of the time, I don't think they even fucking pay attention if you show up, as long as they get their money. So that is a really good positive thing there. But going into the future, I'm excited, but not right now. It's cold. It's cold right now, man. I'm just going to take a little time. I'm not going to acquire a whole lot of stuff. And I'm going to just sell things a little bit, couple hours. I mean, this weekend's supposed to be freaking super cold. So I'm just going to be realistic about it. I'm balancing a lot of things in my life. And this year, I got to be more realistic about things, whether it be the flea market, whether it be YouTube, whether it be other things. Because last year I tried to do way too much. Last year and the year before that. But this year I'm trying to just kind of focus, get my organization right. And that's a key here if I didn't touch upon that, which is the organization. For instance, let's say I might have, I have a lot of game booklets that I keep in one area, 360 booklets. Then I have PlayStation 3 booklets. You know, you can sell a game for more if you have the booklet versus just the case and the game. So I might have a Dark Souls 2 booklet for PS3, but I need to organize to get everything, not even all the same area, but alphabetical. And I have all my cases, my empty cases in one location, my storage room. all together, all stacked up next to the wall. And I got to organize. And because I'm in such a rush to get everything ready, I forget things sometimes like a power cord. That can't happen. I can't continue to push myself to limit time and time again, leaving work, having a couple hours ready to go to the flea market. No, I can't do that. So I've got to just organize and compartmentalize basically my entire life. I have to organize this year. So that's the big key word. That's my New Year's resolution, just to organize. Because if I organize, I make it to where I can get more sleep, or I'm not walking around like a damn zombie. Then in several respects, even things here like YouTube, I can have more time to do whatever I want to do with. Like, for instance, you've noticed I've uploaded more this past week than I have weeks prior. It's because it's cold to flea market. I'm taking some time off. I don't always have to prepare and set up the arcade, because that is a lot of preparation up to set up the arcade. A lot of thought goes into that, down to, well, which system am I going to display here? What game am I going to display? Do I have enough batteries for the controllers? Do I want to hook them up? Do I want to leave them loose? I've not been doing the arcade the past couple weeks. And weirdly, if I'm not, there's two purposes of the arcade. I'll finish up on here. Damn it. I just wanted to put in so much here. I don't even know what I'm going to title this one, because I hate that I haven't been able to keep up on flea market stories. But the ideas behind the arcade is I'm not really putting the systems up there specifically to sell the systems. It's number one, for people to be able to test games out in real time to drive these software sales. And number two is to draw attention. Because the more people that are drawn there, the more people that are over there playing, it makes my store seem that much more legitimate. You see? Because people come by and they go like, oh, this is the happening place to be. So that's the secret of my video game arcade. Is it really going to push me forward a whole lot of money to sell an Xbox 360 for $100? No, it's not. Actually, that's actually probably not the best scenario. So when people lowball on the systems, they seem confused that I wouldn't even entertain a lower price than that. And sometimes I have to eventually tell them, like, well, it's actually more of a loss to me than sell the system today, because number one is less of an attraction here to draw people to draw the media. And number two, I don't have a system set up so I can show people that the 360 games work. So essentially that always keeps my price higher than what most people would normally pay for an Xbox 360. But there's thinking behind that, right? At some point, I might still want to go like, damn, I should charge more for that, you know? But yeah, this has been all over the place. Apologies, it is. But I just wanted to update you guys on how things are going at the flea market. And I appreciate all the feedback and support you've given me, and all the great tips that many of you sellers yourself. There's a couple of you sellers that have sold to flea market also that have given me in the past. And I'm super excited, but I'm just tempering my expectations for now until the springtime and the flowers are blooming and the ladies are coming back out there wearing skimpy next to nothing, and the fat beer belly guys are coming out there wearing next to nothing also. That is peak flea market time. Springtime through fall, that is your peak flea market time. And then maybe like a month of summer where it's really sweltering hot is not good, but you're making your money between springtime and late fall, and maybe a spike right before Christmas, but that's pretty much it. January, February, worst 2 months for the flea market. Outside of tax time, which it might be a small spike, but no. January and February, going to be really tough probably next 2 months, but I'll get through that. I will build the store, and I'll be rocking and rolling, baby. Thanks.